Okay, so the first piece of hardware we're going to install will be our tuners. So I've already got this one on. You need to firstly separate the tuners between left and right, and then the tuners essentially go on the washer over the top, and the bushing secures the washer in place. So you just thread those up from behind. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is align those tuners. So I usually just do this with a steel rule, just align them relative to each other. Next you just want to go through, put an indent just to mark where the pilot holes need to go. Being careful obviously not to bump the tuners or change their angle. So when we're drilling pilot holes, we need to drill pilot holes in the bodies of these guitars because the screws are very fragile and small. So this is a soft wood, or a softer hardwood, being mahogany, but so it's not as dense as alder or maple or something like that, but it's still a good idea. These screws will strip pretty easily. And we need to keep an eye on our depth, especially when we're drilling on headstocks. So one good way to do that, mark your drill bit with a piece of tape. So if we mark our drill bit at 2/3 depth of the screw, we've got a depth indicator we can rely on to know we won't go through the headstock or go too deep. Just make sure you drill those holes nice and straight so the screws go in. Okay, so one of the next things we need to do is install our strap buttons. Now, these are fairly important because our guitar is going to rely on them obviously when we're playing with a strap, and also it's important we get the location right because that will also affect the balance of the guitar when we're playing it with the strap. So these are pretty simple. The buttons, like so, the screw goes through the button, and there's just this little rubber footing that protects the finish. Now, location on an SG or a Les Paul for that matter as well, it's normally dead center on the lower bout, and there's a few different places you can put it on an SG. I like to put it on the neck heel, so we'll turn the guitar over and do that next. And the best way I've found to find center is just to use some of this low-tack painter's masking tape and roughly align it with the center of the book match veneer top on this particular guitar. And if you don't have a book match veneer top with a center line, just find center between your two bridge post holes, and perhaps with a set square or something similar, get center by doing it that way. Now the bodies are normally 40mm, so first I want to mark that center line. Obviously using the tape means we don't have to mark the body at all. And then just come down 20mm. The bodies are, as I said, 40mm. What you do next is just put an indent in the body on that spot. I've just got a precision screwdriver to ground the top to a sharp end. You can simply remove that tape. So from here we're just going to drill our pilot holes as we did before, but this time our screws are a little bit larger than the holes for the tuners. So I'm just doing it the same way on the heel. I've just used some tape, used my set square to find center. I'm just going to mark that location for the pilot hole. So when it comes to installing a truss rod cover, again I just use some low-tack painter's masking tape, find center, draw a line, and from there I just align my align the holes of the cover to the line, mark my holes. So I've already done that on this one. Obviously make sure you've got the right screws for this. Don't want to be using screws that are too long. You go right through your headstock.